There is still time for every single team to fix that one major glaring issue that they have.
We know Matt Rule's on the hot seat. I think the Panthers probably believe that they're kind of in the driver's seat to be able to get Jimmy G.
Whether it's trading a notable player, extending a key piece to their future, or upgrading a position of need, there's still one last major order of business for each NFL team to take care of. So here's a look at one final offseason move that your favorite NFL team needs to make before the upcoming season commences. Arizona Cardinals extend Kyler Murray. The Cardinals haven't had a QB who can single-handedly change a game like Murray since Kurt Warner. In other words, franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees. The Redbirds really shouldn't be overthinking this. They ought to extend Murray ASAP before negotiations grow even more tense and Murray increases his value with another stellar season. Atlanta Falcons bring in one new starting offensive lineman. Cordarrelle Patterson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts give Marcus Mariota a very nice set of weapons to work with. But the O-line still needs some help. Dwayne Brown, J.C. Tretter, and Eric Fisher are among the quality offensive linemen who remain available in free agency. The Falcons should definitely try and grab at least one of them. Baltimore Ravens sign another receiver. The Ravens got great value from Arizona in the Marquise Brown trade, but the deal still left them short a 1,000-yard receiver. There are still several impactful pass catchers left on the market, including Odell Beckham Jr., Will Fuller, and Julio Jones. Getting one more weapon for Lamar Jackson in the passing game would make this a near-perfect offseason for GM Eric DeCosta. Buffalo Bills extend Jordan Poyer. Brandon Beane has assembled a practically flawless roster. Now, he must secure it by extending Jordan Poyer past 2022. Poyer is slated to hit free agency after this season. Trust me though, this isn't a player that Buffalo wants to lose. Carolina Panthers trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Sorry Carolina, but Sam Darnold is not going to turn his career around.
He might.
No, he's not.
Garoppolo is an above-average starter and can be had at a bargain price. If Carolina lands him, they could make some serious noise as an NFC sleeper. Chicago Bears trade Robert Quinn. If the Bears were fine trading away Khalil Mack for a second-round pick, then they should be happy to trade Robert Quinn to continue the rebuild. Quinn logged 18.5 sacks in 2021, a Bears single-season record. His value is not going to get any higher. Given his age and hefty contract, Chicago GM Ryan Poles should look to cash in now by dealing Quinn to the highest bidder. Cincinnati Bengals extend Jesse Bates III. Not much the Bengals really need to do. They added 3 new starters on the offensive line, so now it's simply on Joe Burrow and the offense to pick up where they left off last season. That said, Bengals fans would sleep a little easier if star safety Jesse Bates was extended long-term. Bates was hit with the franchise tag, and if they won't re-sign him now, he will likely walk in free agency next year. Cleveland Browns trade Baker Mayfield. Okay, Cleveland Browns organization, we get it. You don't want Baker Mayfield anymore, and you are willing to put your necks out on the line for Deshaun Watson. But can you at least be respectful to Mayfield and trade him already? Pick up some of the guaranteed money on his 2022 salary if you have to. But you cannot keep him on the roster when you've made it loud and clear you do not want him anymore. Dallas Cowboys extend Dalton Schultz. The Cowboys can't make any more major splashes due to their terrible cap situation. It hasn't been a great offseason by any means, but extending stud tight end Dalton Schultz would help erase one potential headache for next offseason. Schultz should be a much bigger part of the offense with Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson Jr. both gone. Schultz has earned himself a multi-year extension worth north of $10 million annually. Jerry Jones just has to pay the man already. Denver Broncos make Russell Wilson a Bronco for life. This one's pretty dang simple. Just ask Wilson to fill out a blank check with whatever asking price he wants. Denver is a bona fide Super Bowl contender with him now leading the offense. So they better not screw this one up. Just sign the man to a mega deal and make him a Bronco for life. Detroit Lions sign Anthony Barr. The Lions were wise to avoid pricey free agents as they enter year 2 of a lengthy rebuild. That said, it doesn't hurt to add some veteran leaders and quality playmakers to a young defense with several holes. Longtime Minnesota Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr remains a free agent. His veteran presence would work nicely on a young D looking to turn a corner with the likes of Jeff Okudah and Aiden Hutchinson. And he should be available at a bargain level price. Green Bay Packers sign Odell Beckham Jr. Second-round pick Christian Watson is currently slotted in as the Packers' lead receiver. Even if he is up to the task of replacing Davante Adams, it doesn't hurt to have another serviceable weapon at Aaron Rodgers' disposal. OBJ remains unsigned despite playing an integral part in the Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl championship season. He could help take this Packers offense to a whole nother level, and he really shouldn't cost much at this point. Houston Texans bring back Will Fuller V. I mean, why not? A healthy Fuller was a borderline #1 receiver during his tenure in Houston. Injuries wiped out his short stint with the Miami Dolphins, so Fuller needs to go to a place that will help him reset his value ahead of 2023 free agency. The Texans still need some weapons for second-year QB Davis Mills. Fuller is familiar with this offense and could recapture that game-breaking ability playing alongside Brandon Cooks. Indianapolis Colts extend Quentin Nelson. It's always smart to take care of your young stars a year before their contract is up. If Nelson plays like an All-Pro again in 2022, his market is only gonna increase. Not that Colts GM Chris Ballard needs advice, but locking up his franchise guard now would make his life a lot easier in 2023 and beyond. Jacksonville Jaguars extend Josh Allen. Not much more for the Jaguars to do. Now they just sit back and hope that new head coach Doug Peterson can clear out the stench left behind by Urban Meyer and help Trevor Lawrence become a franchise star. In April, the Jaguars made the easy decision of picking up Josh Allen's 2022 fifth-year option. Now it's time to get the standout pass rusher under contract long-term. This is an order of business that should go nice and smoothly, unless the Jaguars want to make it hard on themselves, which they always seem to do. Kansas City Chiefs extend Orlando Brown Jr. You saw the price the Chiefs gave up for Brown last year. Plus, he's a 5-star offensive tackle that they need to protect Patrick Mahomes long-term. The Chiefs placed the franchise tag on the Pro Bowl offensive lineman, but getting him under contract long-term should be their #1 goal heading into Week 1. Las Vegas Raiders move on from Clelin Ferrell. The Raiders reached big time for Farrell when they took him 4th overall in 2019, and they're paying the price for it now. Farrell hasn't even developed into a starting caliber player on the defensive line. He is most certainly on borrowed time in Sin City. With Max Crosby and Chandler Jones leading the front seven, there is no more need for Farrell. The Raiders should see if they can salvage a mid to late round pick for his services. Otherwise, GM Dave Ziegler would be wise to simply cut the 2019 draft bust and give his spot to someone else. Los Angeles Chargers add one more defensive lineman. Newcomer Khalil Mack and superstar Joey Bosa give the Chargers one of the league's most potent pass-rushing duos, at least on paper. However, the rest of the LA defensive line is full of question marks, so it wouldn't hurt GM Tom Telesco to bring in at least one more serviceable piece. Trey Flowers, Justin Houston, Ndamukong Suh, and Sheldon Richardson are among the starting caliber players who could help shore up LA's pass rush and run defense. You can never have too many elite D linemen when you're facing Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, and Russell Wilson twice each season.
Los Angeles Rams signed another edge rusher. The Rams obviously couldn't afford to retain Von Miller, who took his talents over to Buffalo. Not a lot of weaknesses on this defense, but finding a new Robin to Aaron Donald would help maximize the potential of this defense. Trey Flowers, Justin Houston, Jason Pierre-Paul, and Carlos Dunlap are among the veteran standouts who can help.
Miami Dolphins sign Justin Houston. Fins GM Chris Greer prioritized improving the offense this offseason. The secondary should be dangerous once again, and Emmanuel Ogbah and Jalen Phillips round out a solid-looking defensive line. But wouldn't veteran Justin Houston be a nice final addition to this group? The 4-time Pro Bowler would be a useful rotational piece on a rapidly improving Miami D, especially in the pass rush department. May as well get a quality leader like him while he's available at a friendly price. Minnesota Vikings add another veteran cornerback. The Vikings brought back Patrick Peterson and drafted the promising Andrew Booth Jr. to address their quarterback depth chart. But it still wouldn't hurt for them to add at least another capable starter to that group. Chris Harris Jr., Kevin King, Joe Hayden, and Jackrabbit Jenkins are among the notable veteran corners still available. Getting one, or hey, even two of them, would really shore up a leaky secondary. New England Patriots add a linebacker. Bill Belichick cut Kyle Van Noy, let Jamie Collins walk, and so far hasn't retained Dante Hightower. The Patriots absolutely have to address the linebacker position before Week 1, because this current unit isn't gonna cut it. KJ Wright, Jalen Smith, Anthony Barr, or even bringing back Collins or Hightower would certainly work. There are lots of options for Belichick. Better get on it while these guys remain unsigned. New Orleans Saints sign Trey Flowers. Flowers is coming off a frustrating stint with the Detroit Lions. Joining a team like the Saints could certainly help him regain his value as a useful starter. The Saints have a nice recent history of reclamation projects. Adding Flowers to a D-line that already has Marcus Davenport and Cameron Jordan could help the former Patriots standout get back to the level of dominance that he showed early on in his career. New York Giants trade or cut another expensive veteran. New GM Joe Schoen has already rid himself of some of Dave Gettleman's hefty contracts. He cut ties with James Bradbury, Logan Ryan, and Kyle Rudolph, which is a very nice start. But hey, why stop there? Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Adoree Jackson, and Blake Martinez are a few possibilities. New York Jets bring back Sheldon Richardson. The Jets' first-round pick from 2013 is still a free agent despite a stellar 2021 season in Minnesota. Robert Saleh's defense needs all the help it can get at this point, so why not bring back a productive veteran like Richardson for cheap? Philadelphia Eagles extend Javon Hargrave. Hargrave has been a gem of a pickup for the Eagles, posting a career-high 7.5 sacks for them last season. With Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham nearing the end of their careers, Philly needs to think long-term here. Extending Hargrave would mean having him and Jordan Davis running the D-line long-term. Pittsburgh Steelers sign Dante Hightower. The Steelers wanted Hightower in 2017, but he ultimately decided to go back to New England. 5 years later, do they try and seal the deal? He'd be reunited with Brian Flores, who was on the Patriots defensive coaching staff during Hightower's first 8 NFL seasons. San Francisco 49ers trade Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers ought to stop dragging this on. Trey Lance is their guy. We all know it. Even if you keep Jimmy G for another year, you're just gonna lose him for nothing in 2023 free agency. The 49ers shouldn't be thinking twice about this. Trade Garoppolo to a QB-desperate team now while he still has some value. Let Lance know that he's your guy going forward. The last thing Shanahan's team needs is a 2022 season that is marred by quarterback drama. Seattle Seahawks extend DK Metcalf. The main goal for Seattle is to keep this deep set of offensive weapons intact for the next QB. Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, Noah Fant, and Charles Cross can all be key long-term pieces, but none of them bring the same level of impact as superstar receiver DK Metcalf. Metcalf's entering the final year of his rookie contract. Seattle loves playing hardball with their top players when it comes to discussing new deals, but they cannot do it with Metcalf. Pay the man now and guarantee that your next franchise QB has a true #1 receiver in place for him. Tampa Bay Buccaneers bring back Gronk. Really not much to say here. The Bucs have most of their core intact. Tom Brady's comeback makes them a legitimate contender again. The only thing missing is a new deal for Rob Gronkowski, whose absence would really hurt this team's chances of competing for a championship again. Tennessee Titans sign a veteran offensive lineman. The O-line was a weak link in Tennessee last year, and it doesn't stand to get any better after reliable guard Roger Saffold left for Buffalo. If the Titans hope to keep Ryan Tannehill upright, they should strongly consider adding a guy like Dwayne Brown or Riley Reiff. Washington Commanders pay Terry McLaurin. McLaurin has made his case as a top 10 receiver in the league. This is a franchise piece the Commanders need to build around long term. McLaurin deserves whatever money he asks for. But what offseason moves do you hope your favorite NFL team makes before week 1? Join us in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.